So it's that time of the day. You sit on your chair, sofa, or even toilet, and you switch on your phone looking for some quick entertainment to fill the void. Or else you'll be too bored out of your goddamn mind, and you choose to use social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, because they guarantee you the cheapest, the most accessible, and the most effective cure to monotony. And off you go scrolling to one video, and another, and another, and another. And 99% of the time, you haven't finished the video you started, even though it takes just 10 seconds to watch. And maybe it's even from creators that you follow and consciously decided that you want to watch their content, but you still skip to the next video because the first 2 seconds of that video failed to stimulate your 1 second attention span. And before you know it, hours has gone by. It's 3 a.m. Your eyes are strained, could barely open them. Your hands are numb, could barely hold up your phone anymore. And in the end, it finally happened. You've dropped your phone right onto your face. You then realize something needs to change. I need to change. So in searching for a solution for this problem, you've probably watched videos of other people doing a dopamine detox by deleting the social media apps, throwing their phone away in the trash, and finally go on a long walk and touch grass. So if completely cutting themselves off the internet and becoming a monk is the way to free their mind, to that I say good for them. But for me personally, I do not want to do that for 2 reasons. The first being there are still a lot of things that you need to use social media for. It's not feasible in today's world without using social media in means of learning new things or communicating with each other. And I promise you it's a lot more efficient than reading a newspaper or sending a carrier pigeon to send mail to your friends overseas. You'd just be at a disadvantage in today's world without social media. But the second reason, by completely cutting yourself off from social media, I don't think it's the best way to dopamine detox your brain. So let's just take an example from people who want to get off alcohol or substance abuse. If one day they're using these substances and the next day they're cold turkey completely cutting off and stop using them, there's a very high chance that they experience negative effects, also known as withdrawal symptoms, where they feel irritated and increase in anxiety, as well as any other health-related problems, because their body has been dependent on that substance to function. So completely cutting yourself off from social media would be like cutting your body off from drinking water. And what happens when you deprive yourself from drinking water for a long period of time? You find the closest source of water and drink it 10 times faster. Or in other words, you would relapse right back to your addiction. So then you may be asking, Kevin, what do I do now? Well, lucky for you, I'll be sharing a technique that works based on science. But if you stick around to the end, I'll be sharing with you a method that's much simpler, might be more effective, and that you probably might not have heard of before, so stick around. So the first way to dopamine detox your brain is to simply reduce your screen time. Now let's go back to the alcohol and substance abuse example. So what people do when they're going through rehab is a process called tapering off. So instead of completely cutting themselves off from using the substance, they actually continue to use that substance for a short period of time. However, for every duration within that time, they actually reduce the amount of substance being used. So if they use 100% of the substance in the beginning, the next duration would be 90% of the substance, and then 80, and then 70, 60, and then eventually all the way to 0. And through tapering off, the body would be slowly but surely be less and less dependent on that substance, reducing the chances of withdrawal symptom and relapse. So in our context of social media addiction, what you could use is a screen time limiting app. And what it does is that after you've used, let's say Instagram, and you're scrolling for an hour, that app will take over and completely disable you from scrolling on Instagram or whatever social media app that you choose to limit yourself from using. So let's say one day at 10 hours of social media use, the next day you would limit yourself to 9 hours, and then 8, and then 7, all the way into the amount of time that you ideally want to be spending on social media. For some it could be 5 hours, for some it could be 1 hour, all really depending on your lifestyle. But let's say that you do actually want to use these social medias for long periods of time. Maybe after a long day of school or work, you just want to chill for many hours. Or maybe you just want to learn something new and these educational contents are in 3-hour-long format, or you just want to watch many of those educational videos. Well, then this method has been something that I've been recently consciously doing. And after watching many dopamine detox videos, I've actually never really heard of people talking about this one method. And it's something very simple to do, effective, but still allows you to consume as much content as you want. And I call it the movie theater method. So imagine this, you go to a movie theater and you see multiple options and posters of movies that you could watch. So you either have seen the trailer before and have anticipated to watch that specific movie, or you might have just seen it for the first time and you just saw the poster, the title of the movie, and the actors that are in it. So you buy the ticket and off you go to see that one movie. And inside the movie theater, what do they tell you? No cell phones, no noises, and no distractions allowed. It's only just the viewer and the big screen. And that's exactly what this method is about. It's to consume any content on social media like you're at a movie theater. First, you click on any social media of choice. Second, what whatever the algorithm decides to show you, either you're on TikTok and Instagram where the video plays immediately, or on YouTube, which is the platform that I prefer because you consciously select the video that you want to watch. And when the video plays, you just sit there and watch the video entirely. Don't try to skip and scroll to the next video or click on a more interesting thumbnail. Whatever you're currently watching, watch the whole thing from start to finish. So why does this method work? Well, just like a movie theater, you're only able to watch one thing at a time. You can't scroll to another movie unless you physically decide to walk out of the movie theater. And when you do that, you have the utmost attention in consciously consuming whatever you're watching. And even if the movie is bad, you'd likely be more able to retain whatever you were watching. So when you apply this method to consuming on social media, number one, you'll be able to retain more of whatever you were watching instead of forgetting whatever you were watching 30 seconds ago because you've already scrolled through 10 videos. Like, describe to me the last 3 videos that you watched. I dare you. I bet you can't. And number 2, the content in that video would likely be more impactful to whatever goal you were consuming social media for in the first place. Whether it's being even more entertained or being more positively impacted by educational content. Actually, for now, instead of making the movie theater method a whole lifestyle change, I want you to try this for the next 1 hour after this video. And for every video that you watch in the next hour, either short or long form, try to watch it entirely. And to use the tapering off method that we mentioned earlier, do that for 1 hour, and tomorrow you can do it for 2 hours, and then 3, and so on. And I promise you, not only that's good for the content creator to have a 100% retention rate, but I think it's one of the better ways to dopamine detox your brain and improve your mental health. So you've made it to the end of this video. Either my editing, my scripts, or idea kept you retained until now, or you've actually been using the movie theater method that I just mentioned. But either way, actually let me know in the comments whether you've tried any dopamine detox methods before. Did it work? Did it not? Let me know in the comments below. And earlier I mentioned that YouTube was the platform that I prefer for content consuming, and actually a platform that I've been content creating for a while now. So if you want to know about how I'm navigating my 20s right now as a YouTube content creator, then check out this video. Bye.
0 out of 10.
Flat on a paper towel.
Lay them flat on a paper